Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slay to Success show. This is your Slay Queen, Rochelle Hemingway, and I am the CEO and founder of Slay to Success. It's a leadership and transformational consultant service business where I help empower women. I'm empower women, but if men are in here too, I will help empower you as well with tools, strategies, techniques that are unconventional, that are surrounded by leadership, mindset, and wellness. Because I want you to step up and step into that next big dream, goal, aspiration, role, position, whatever that is, with 10x confidence. And doing this by using that basic life and leadership philosophies. We all know it, AKA SLAY. Stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community, a sense of family, and knowing you are built to last without sacrificing your health, your relationships, your opportunities, or happiness. And all of what I tell you, speak to you about, do research on, is all the lessons and insights that I learned over my 30-year military career experiences in the United States Air Force and now beyond. Huh? All right. So if you are coming in, please, 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 y'all go ahead and put into the chat where you're tuning in from. And if you've got anything that you are working on, because you know I'm an equal opportunist. If you got something that you want to share with everyone, please, this is the space to do it. So if you're an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who's working in a corporate space, someone who is at home and has a hustle or whatnot, this is where you can drop it into the chat and I will make sure I will put it up on the screen. So come on in. Please let me know where you're tuning in from, because today we are going to start talking more specifically to how we can position ourselves. Okay, we're going to start positioning ourselves to get what we want and what we need. And that is our goals. And those are our dreams. All right. And so what I want to talk to you all about is stepping up to the plate. All right. I want to know, are you ready to step up to your plate? Your plate is whatever you say that you want to do. Are you making the commitment? Are you seeing it through? Are you understanding who you are and what you're supposed to be doing? All right. We are going to talk to that specifically today, and hopefully you can share in this discussion. I don't see any comments just yet, but I will be tracking that just to see who is here and how I can support you however I can. So today, because it's still the daytime, we're going to start talking about how we're going to step up to the plate. Okay, so I know it would be easy for most of us just to go through life without any adversity. It'd be easy, it'd be carefree, and we would be about our day, right? And then we just go and do what we say we're going to do, and no one's going to stop us. No one's going to be talking about us. Nobody's going to be judging. It's going to be all of what we think it's going to be. But I'm going to here to tell you there is no secret and there is no magic wand to help make adversity easy to handle. So we're going to talk about adversity and these struggles, because I feel like most times we want to just go in and we play safe, right? We don't make decisions right away. We hold ourselves back, and that is not going to get us any closer to the goal that we are trying to achieve. So there are a few ways we can respond to stress. And life is a big old stressor. All right. We got all kinds of things coming at us 24/7. Hey, Dwayne, thank you for dropping on in. Good afternoon from the DMV. That's right. DC, Maryland, and Virginia is in the house. Thank you for stopping in to the Slay to Success show tonight. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to respond to stress in our life. We can either give up, we can put up, or we can step up. All right. And I know for me, and speaking to the experiences that I've had over the course of my 50 years on this earth, I'm choosing more to step up because these challenges exist. And so when we give up, we just give in to the stressful event and we just let things just happen. We don't put anything in place. We don't have any coping mechanisms. We just go with the flow. And then when we start really putting up with something, we're accepting it and we're dealing with it. And it's just going to cause us more distress and it's going to cause us to pull back. And there's a lot of reservation in that, right? And then we're always going to see ourselves in another way. And I really strongly believe that we all see ourselves stepping up to the challenge. We just don't have the tools. Sometimes we don't understand which tool to use to deal with the adversity. So stepping up is really essentially about bouncing back with the wherewithal. We understand what we are to do. You're absolutely welcome, Dwayne. Please put in there your business or what you support so that way we can give you some airplay on here as well. So thank you so much for showing up to the show. So I'll tell you this. We may even feel stronger. We may even feel stronger when we go through that most difficult and messy and just grueling situation that we did not see coming, because most of the times we don't see these things coming, but we're going to have the ability to cope. We're going to take control of our attitude and how we look at things. We're going to make meaning of that situation. And then my favorite way to handle things is to take the necessary action to work through that. So one of the first things that I realized as I was maturing again and growing through some of my pains and struggles in my military service is I realized things aren't linear. All right. They're going to have like these curvy roads, if you will. And when we have a better understanding of what our mental capacity is, the better we can handle these situations as they come. So, my first tip of advice is to accept reality. Okay. Please know that this life is always going to be life. And when we accept the reality, the true reality of where we're at, we can move forward in this difficult situation. When we try to avoid a problem, we will never get it resolved. We will never, it'll always be there. There are things that we can't change. How many times have you been told in your lifetime that some things are just out of your control? They're just out of your control. But we sometimes spend more time on the things that we can't control as opposed to what we can control. And so we have to learn to accept the limitations that we have. We can't change what we don't acknowledge, y'all. We have to accept that there's a problem and allow us to really start to deal with it. So if you can resonate with anything, I know some of you are out there doing what you do. You can go ahead when you come back for the replay, you can put down some comments, right? Just put down what you're thinking about this, because you know we can't change what we don't acknowledge, what we don't say, okay, this is what's happening. How can we move through it? Then we have to believe that life is worth living, that there is hope in this world, that there's the faith, right? Because we have to understand that there is, for me anyway, I always think there is a better tomorrow. It's going to be better when I wake up. And when God says I can wake up in the morning and I can do it again, I know that there is hope. And so we have to have the right courage and we have to have the right strength to really tackle these problems. And we have to recognize your own personal strengths and your own competencies that will help you get through any adversity, any hardship, any struggle that you may be facing. Next, we're going to commit to these goals and these actions. So yesterday, when on the LinkedIn post, if you all seen my LinkedIn post, I talk about making a commitment and what that truly means and really what does that require. So I made a commitment, y'all. I went into the military at the age of 19, and I decided at some point during my career that I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to see 30 years. And when I made that commitment to myself, things started to happen for me. I started reaching the goals that I had put out there for myself. All right. I did not get stuck and stagnant and thinking, okay, I know that I'm not getting promoted, as others are getting promoted, but I cannot allow that to stay there in me. And I had to push through that. All right. That was one of my obstacles that I had. I had to buckle down and really study and really understand the information that they were asking. So when I went in to test, I'm like, okay, I feel great about that. And I gave it the best that I could possibly give. All right. Because when we are committed to our goals and we are committed to the actions that we say that we're going to start problem solving. And we're going to start figuring out what we can do to improve our situation. So we have to commit to move forward and do what we can in the face of obstacles, which will always be there. You're either in it or you're just coming out of it or you're getting ready to go into something else. This is what life is all about. And so uncovering the coping mechanisms and learning what works for you and not for anyone else will help you to get to closer. I believe it, closer to those goals. Then we have to know, okay, that when we're in a situation and it is very difficult, to start to look at the inside, start to look at the lessons learned. Hey there. I don't know who the hey there is, but hey there. Welcome to the Slay to Success show. And I'm glad that you're here. So if you would like to put who you are, because it doesn't show up for me, I'll give you a shout out. So thank you for stopping by in with me. And so we're continually talking about stepping up to the plate and what that looks like. And so we have to have new insights, all right, from the lessons that are being learned. What relationships in our life can we make more deeply to connect with? How is this situation changing me for the better? Hey, Latricia, my queen, go ahead and put down what you do. This is the space to do that. Right into the chats for me, my queen. And so I know, all right, that all of us are trying our best to get after so many different things. And I want you to understand that this life is filled with stress, filled with obstacles, filled with adversities, and we have to be able to work through them. They're always going to present themselves. So, what are you going to do when it happens? And so, we just started right from the very beginning. We have to accept reality. Okay, accept reality. What is your reality look like? All right, and control only what you can control. Then you got to believe that life is worth living and having hope and faith to get through and pass that storm, if you will, that you're going through. Then you have to commit to your goals and your actions because you said that that's what you wanted to do. And so what is it that you need to figure out how to improve that situation? How are you going to move forward? And taking the appropriate actions to do that. And then we talked about gaining the insights and those lessons that you can learn from the situations that you're in, right? So those are just some of the ways. And then lastly, once we get out of our storm, okay, before we go into our next storm, we have to look at the process. What worked and what didn't work. Sometimes we don't really take that step back. All we wanted to do is just get out of it and be like, whew, I can't do this next time. Well, there's going to be a next time. There's going to be a next time. So did you do an assessment? Did you figure out ways that you can tweak something and adjust and adapt as you went forward? Sometimes it's going to take a few attempts, y'all. Sometimes this stuff is going to like constantly come up for you. And we have to deal with that. So we got to let ourselves evaluate how things kind of unfolded, and we got to learn from our experience. And in the process, if possible, try to enjoy the journey. So I've been in my entrepreneurial journey for 2 years. Over time here, I think for the past couple months, I've kind of seen how I've progressed. Like I was growing, but because I couldn't see the growth, I didn't think I was growing. I know some of y'all can relate to that because it's sweat, blood, and tears, late nights on this laptop, putting in the work, going out to events, driving to different locations. And I thought, I'm just doing these things, right? Where am I going to see myself getting to a point where I can see the results? And it's just been there in front of me all this time, but I wasn't really seeing it. So we have to understand that there will be times when we want to give up, all right? Or we want to put up. But I'm going to encourage you, implore you to step up. Step up to the plate, whatever that plate is for you. All right. So that way you can get a greater sense of personal power. You have a deep understanding of the situation because it's going to come back around again, because it's going to give you the ability to solve that problem quicker. You're going to respond in a healthier way, and you're going to remain optimistic about the future. So that is the Slay to Success show with your Slay Queen, Rochelle Hemingway. And I just wanted to come by for a short period of time and to give you a little bit of something to keep you going. Tonight, I have an interpersonal effectiveness strategies webinar starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be dropping it in all the chat links when you come out of this broadcast, so you'll see. But if you want to join us tonight to really specifically talk to 3 required interpersonal skills that you must have and you must master and leverage to achieve your goals, then come tonight. All right. We're going to be talking about focus, we're going to be talking about empathy, and we're going to be talking about self respect. I think these are 3 required skills that you must have. All right. Especially when you're trying to step up to the plate and you're really putting yourself out there because you said this is what you want and this is what you're going to get after. So I'm signing off. Keep on slaying until you can't slay no more. #slay. Bye-bye, y'all. Thank you for joining me. And if you come back, #replay. Bye-bye.